So friends, today I am going to explain that soon will come first, so now without any delay let's go straight to the video. So the movie starts by showing a scary and suspenseful sequence where we come to know that during 1980, many robbers suddenly disappeared and were murdered. Now these robbers were divided into unorganized and organized groups, out of which the organized group was called Sugali. The word Sugali comes from Gali, which means Gung Banabak Layer, i.e. Wild Kid Society. Wild Kid Society was the name given to those people who used to behave violently without any rules and control, and the most scary thing was that it was believed that it was almost impossible to kill some Sugali, neither could they be shot nor stabbed. Many people believed that Sugali was related to black magic and they were considered to be the owners of extraordinary powers. Now from here the scene shifts to the Central Air Force Station of 1984, where a man named Ami Danan was working with his colleagues and other people who were actually stealing the dead bodies of the workers. Now among these many bodies there is a powerful Sugali whose name was Jiro. Now Nang gets down from his car and goes to Jiro and tells him that you are not a human being. From here it is revealed that Jiro is a common man. He was not a man but a powerful person who practiced black magic. Now before dying, Zero leaves a terrible curse here. He says that till my blood touches this land, this place will remain filled with death and destruction. Whatever happens, he also has Jarrett's Book of Black Magic, in which all the rituals were written, in which one thing might be written that only his own blood can kill him. Now only if there is a naked person here he gets angry and cuts her throat with a sharp cutter, and there were many methods written inside the book. Now after this we are shown some newspaper headlines which prove that Sugali was not only associated with violence but also with black magic. It is written in many places that Sugali was murdered for no reason, and then another name comes up which was Kromolen Burs and Paul Burs. They are called the ones who lift the coffins now here, but Kromolen was, so this is from the movie Raz. At the end it will open. Now from here the scene takes place after 10 years, where we meet a girl named Jia who is going to Maj Nang with her friend Daika. Jia's mother has died and she is going to her funeral. Jia was coming to this village to join. Jia did not live with her mother because she was always treated badly and differently. Jia is also coming to this village because she wants to know the truth about her father. People say that her father is none other than Jarrett, but whatever she had heard about her father, was it true or was it just a rumor? Jia herself wanted to know this. Now as soon as Jia and Daika enter Maj Nang, the weather there suddenly starts deteriorating and strong winds start blowing. And the weather itself had become strange. Here we understand that along with Jia, his father's curse has also returned. Now Jar had said that when my blood will return to this place, then there will be devastation, and because Jia is Jarrett's daughter, his blood was running in her body. Now as soon as Nang, i.e. Jia's maternal grandfather, sees her, anger and disappointment is visible on his face. Jia calls him grandpa. But Nang was not at all happy to see him at the funeral. The people present there were also looking at Jia with strange eyes and were asking her to leave from there. Jia was now sitting near her mother's grave, after which she goes to her maternal grandfather's house, where the naked man asks her to leave from there. He asks her to leave, but Jia refuses to do so as she is on her own. Nang wanted to know the truth of the past. Now he shouts at Jia and says that it is not safe for you to stay here. Jia asks, why is it so? Is it because of my father? Now Nang tells Jia that when it gets night leave this place before that, after which Propti warns all the villagers that Jia's arrival here is a bad sign. He tells them to keep the doors and windows closed at night. If someone knocks, then do not open the door at all, and if by mistake someone did this, someone saw something with their own eyes, then understand that his death is certain. Now here who Propti was talking about, this suspense is not told to us yet. On the other hand, Jia is looking at her mother's belongings. Then a ball falls from above, and seeing the ball, Jia goes upstairs where she sees an iron box which was locked. Then Nang comes there and tells Jia to pack her stuff and I will go back. I will drop you to the town. Now all this is just the beginning for Jia, because what lies ahead, whatever was about to happen, was even more scary and shocking. Now Daika tells Jia that your grandfather is trying to get you out of here. Maybe he is doing this for the villagers, but he says that the reason is your father. Your father had taken a lot of loan and then left this place. Jia thinks here and says that I don't think so, my father was not like this, he loved me a lot and he can never run away like this. There must be some other reason behind this and I have to find it out. Jia tells some more things to Daika that my grandfather never allowed me to come to this village. He used to say that if I come here then people will get killed, but this thing it doesn't make any sense because he never had any such thoughts in his mind. Anyway, it becomes night and the naked people try to take Jia and Daika out of the village in their car, but the tire of their car gets punctured. The tire gets punctured. Jia now secretly smiles because she was the one who punctured the tire so that the car stops here. Nang's anger reaches the sky and he brings a shotgun and tells Jia to stay here and go inside the house and Daika you come with me. Now Jia is unable to understand anything here that after all whom should she kiss. She even asks about this, but Nang leaves with Daika without answering. Jia is completely clueless here, but fear and questions had arisen in her heart. Now on the way, Nang and Daika get separated. And Daika is sitting alone at a place when he hears a strange sound and sees some strange shadow figures in the air and they were spirits who have coffins in their hands, and seeing these cromolens Daika starts trembling. It is also called lapar in many places in Indonesia and I have also explained it in the movie Lapar the Flying Casket, there it has been explained in more detail, so if you have not seen it, go and watch it, you will like the details a lot. You will find its link below in the description. Print comment anyway. Now give 2 more. The guards also see the spirits and meanwhile we see a girl named Melly who is Jia's childhood friend. Melly's mother panics after seeing the spirits and hides Melly inside a cabinet. But the spirits reach there and they lift Melly's mother in the air and kill her. In fact, the 2 guards also get killed. Daika, who was hiding behind a car, gets shaken with fear. He was not able to even do that when Jia comes there. Seeing Jia, Daika panics and says that we have to run away from here immediately and those spirits will kill us here. Now Jia gets worried and asks him whether you also have the same feelings for me. Nana Ji brainwashes him into thinking that he is talking about spirits, but then an invisible power lifts Daika in the air. He starts screaming and Jia just watches in shock. Then Nang comes there and now he is with her. There is a mirror in the hand and these spirits etc. are in the mirror world. Only when he looks inside the mirror, he sees that a phoenix was actually holding Daika. Danik then fires a shotgun which hits the phoenix directly. The bullet was actually mixed with salt which keeps the spirits away. In fact, before performing many rituals, a pit of salt is also made. Now Daika falls down from it and Nang and Jia run away with Daika. Now Jia gets angry at this and she screams at Nang. She asks, what is all this, tell me the truth. Now Danan doesn't say anything here and just tells them to move ahead. Well, now they keep moving ahead and with the help of the mirror they were escaping from the spirit, but what happens is that meanwhile, Daika is again rescued by a Chromolen and her grandfather, but after this, they get separated. Now Daika and Jia are looking for a place to hide when Jia tells her that she is going to meet her friend Melly. That he can hide here, after which he goes to Melly's place. They go there where they find the dead body of his mother. Meanwhile, a sound of 10 was coming from inside the cabinet in which Melly was. Now they are moving forward and Daika says that they should leave from here. They have to leave, then Daika sees something coming from a distance. She feels that it is a car, but it is not the car. Instead it is the Chromolen that catches her and kills her. Seeing this Jia starts crying a lot, she is very sad. She was shocked at what happened here. On the other side we can see Prapti and Dawang comes to Prapti's house. Now he starts asking for the amulet from her which will protect him from the evil powers, but Prapti refuses. He has only one amulet but still he gives it to Nang. Now Nang's plan was that he will ask Jia to kill his father because if his own blood kills him then he will not be able to come back again. That he had cursed in the beginning that only his blood could kill him and this is how his curse could have ended. Now he takes away the salted bullets and the amulet from her. Meanwhile, we see that Jia was kidnapped by Yanto and Yanto is the same person who, in collusion with Ki Nang, had kidnapped Jia. He had killed thugs and Jarrett. He tells Jia that he was waiting for her only. He sees that an amulet was around Jia's neck too so that she could save herself from him. Now this must have been given to her by her grandfather. Now Gia asks this only then she asks her what can she save herself from with the help of this amulet. Then Yen tells her that his father had given a curse to this village, due to which she can save herself with the help of this amulet. Now he tells her the whole story that his grandfather had given a curse to her. The father was killed by slitting his throat, but he was not going to die just like that because he practiced black magic, and before his throat was slit he had cursed this village that as long as his blood would remain on this land then his curse will be awakened again, and from the day he lived, from the day she came here, the Sugalis came back to life from their graves, and that too in KROMOLEO, which means that all the Sugalis that were killed came back again, and these were none other than the KROMOLEONs, but the same Sugalis that were buried in the beginning had gone, and whoever sees them is sure to die, and the reason behind all these deaths is Jarrett, and Gia herself is also the reason because this curse got triggered because of her. That's why you will remember that when Gia came here, as soon as we stepped inside the village, the whole atmosphere changed. Now on the other side, we see Prapto's wife who says that she had only one amulet and she gave that to Dadong, and what he could not refuse her. She says that who will save them now, and no sooner had she said this, than there is a knock on their door, and on opening the door, Prapto's wife has KROMOLEO, and here Prapto's wife starts getting KROMOLEO. But he tries to avoid getting it, but he is unable to do so, due to which both of them are brutally killed. Now Yen tells Gia everything about her father. Then she asks whether her dad is alive, to which he says that Jarrett no one can kill easily, at least not in the typical normal way here, and to prevent that, his maternal grandfather, Dadong, slit his throat and buried the rest of his body separately, i.e., the head was buried separately. And the rest of the part is completely different, but there is only one way to kill him, and that is Gia herself. Only Gia can kill her father, and this was due to the curse of her own father, because only Jarrett's blood can stop him, i.e. for Gia herself, she will have to find her father's body and put his head and torso together and stab it with a sharp object on which Gia's own blood will be present, only after which her curse will finally end. And he can die, and this is what his grandfather is planning. Her plan is that she will get Gia's father killed through him, as he is a good man. Then he tells her that his grandfather is not a good man at all, and the truth was that he himself had asked Sugali to spread terror, and he never threatened the villagers. He did not think about it, and Gia is still alive because he was wearing that amulet, which was actually made from the tooth of Jarrett, and that too he had made it only for his own benefits, and Gia, he had told the rest of the people to die. Left for her, or it tells us that he made himself have for KROMOLEO so that she couldn't see them, or it also tells us that he blinded himself for KROMOLEO so that she couldn't see them, because whoever sees them, their death is certain. Now Gia tells him to let her go from here so that she can stop these things. Then Yana says that who wants to stop him? He wants to let all this happen because this village there are many evil people, and he too comes from them, and they all have to die, deserves it, because they had killed many thugs very badly. Here Yen even points a gun at Gia, saying that he has to die so that he cannot end this curse, and as Yen shoots at him, then Gia kicks him, due to which he misses the target. Now hearing the sound of gunshot, Danon comes there and injures Yanto by beating him. He was about to kill him, but then Ji and Nong stops him, after which he takes Jia away from there and tells Jian that she has found out everything in this village was cursed because of her. Nong makes a cut on his hand and gives him a knife. Nong puts on the dagger and tells her that she will have to kill her father with this dagger. Jia says that her father was a good person for her, and she is going to meet her father after 10 years, and he wants her to stab her and kill her. She won't be able to do that. Nong says that if she doesn't kill him, so he will kill her father with his own hands. All he needed was his blood, and he has got it. Now Nong takes Jia towards the house because he had buried her father's body in the backyard of the house. Jia he also wanted answers, because till now Nong had not given him any answer as to why he got those Tuks killed, while he was the one who had given those Tuks the freedom to create terror. He had asked those thugs to do all this. Now Danik asks Jia that there was a reason why he did what he did to save the villagers, and he sent Jia away from here to the town decades ago so that everything would be fine, because all this started the moment she came here, and so he wanted to give her the beginning. Jia wanted to send him back, but that could not happen. Now Danon tells her that this curse has come back because of him, and on hearing all this Gia loses her mind and she starts taking out her amulet because this thing was sitting in her mind. I felt that Yen was right in saying that this village and its people deserve to die. Even though the villagers knew that the thugs were being brutally killed, no one said anything. Here, those people were definitely thugs, but no one deserves to die. Now she takes out her amulet, and as she does so, KROMOLEO bursts out. His grandfather saves him in the nick of time, after which Dan goes inside to retrieve Jarrett's body from where he had buried him. He puts the body and head together and is about to do the same when a gun attacks him from behind. Attacks him, and he was trying to stop him. On the other hand, Gia gets a KROMOLEO from her father that she has full right to be angry and do all this, but in the meantime her spirit goes back to her body again, i.e. now he is revived in his human form, and here Yanto apologizes to Jarrett, but Yanto kills him. After that, Jarrett goes to Nong and tells him everything that he had done to him. He tells that actually the thing was that Jarrett was not a thug. There was also a black magician, but when Danon came to know about this, he did not stop him but asked him to learn all this better, which clearly means that Danon was the one who taught Jarrett to do all this. But later he killed him. Now Jarrett was punishing him for this, but Nong says that someone made him do all this. He got orders to do all this, but who gave these orders? In this film it was not told in detail inside, but there is a theory about it which I will tell you about. Well, in the meantime, Gia comes inside and starts stopping her father, and her father comes to her and he hugs her. Gia meets him and asks him to stop all this, but her father tells her that all this is of no use now, no amount of suffering can satisfy him, he wants to kill all these villagers here now. He doesn't even listen to his daughter, so Gia covers the dagger with her blood and stabs her father. She gives him the blow which kills her father completely, after which Gia starts taking her grandfather away from there, but he was already badly injured, or it means that whatever Nong was doing here was not of his own will. Here he made Jarrett a thug, or else he had told everything that he can do anything to the villagers. He had no hand in this, there were orders of someone else behind this. He had no hand in killing Jarrett as well, she had received orders for this also. However, just then her best friend Melly arrives there, who had heard their entire conversation, and says that this curse actually came because of Gia, and because of her mother also died. That Gia, she starts shooting at him and he gets shot, but in the meantime Nong kills Melly, and then he himself dies because he was badly injured. Now he gets very sad seeing his grandfather getting killed. She feels like crying, but that feeling is slowly fading away, but then she remembers about that dagger, and now she stabs herself with the dagger that had her father's blood on it, and here we see that Gia's eyes are glowing just like her father's, which means that somewhere inside her too, the eyes of Gia are glowing. The powers got activated, or maybe a curse got transferred inside him because of his father's cursed blood, after which we see him walking on the road, and here we notice that his wounds are healing on their own. That means his dad's black magic had an effect on him. Well, here we can see a mid-credit scene where a man comes in a suit and shockingly takes Jarrett's dead body away from there. And from his words it seemed as if he was searching for her body for many years, and boom, with this the KROMOLEO Cheyenne horror movie ends here. So friends, this was KROMOLEO, I hope you liked it. It must have come. Now let's talk a little about this movie. So according to me, the man in the suit that we saw was the same. He might be the person whom Nong ordered to do all this, and I believe that here he still wants to use Jarrett's body because he is not finished yet, and I believe that he is free for some time, and I think if he is brought back to life with the help of black magic, he can again cause havoc, and maybe this man in suit was looking for that thing. Now let's talk about Sugali thugs. So the Sugali thugs were a violent group. They got this name because of their uncontrollable behavior. Jiro, who was a black magic expert, became the leader of all of them. It was difficult for him to die, but according to his own book, only his own son died. Only blood could end him, which happened in the end. Now if we talk about Danak's role, then Danak was probably threatened by some powerful person, i.e. the man in the suit, that if he did not stop Jarrett then all the villagers would die. So he provoked Jarrett and then slit his throat, but this also it is possible that Danon might have done this to save his own Naden Gia from Jarrett's control. Now let's talk about the plan of the man in suit. The objective of the man in suit is unclear right now, but it seems that he is trying to kill Jarrett. Ko wanted to use the power of black magic for his own work, and that is why he was searching for Jarrett's body, and for this he must have manipulated Nan and the villagers, due to which this devastation happened and the whole village got cursed. Now these things indicate that the man in the suit could be the real mastermind of this story, and the next part of this story could also be around him, that is, maybe part 2 could also come. So I hope you have understood this whole film well now. If you have understood it, then like the video. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe. Comment and tell me how you like this film. If you want to watch it, if you want, you can go and watch it. If you haven't seen it yet, you can find the link in the description below in the comments. I will meet you all with the next video. Until then.